All right, guys, so we're back in my garage, and this week on the B58 Digest, we're going to talk about two different topics. So let's hop right into it. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is a new valve cover that has hit the market, and this is actually the first one that I've seen, so I think this is really nice that we're finally getting this. I know a lot of guys that are coming from the N54 were kind of looking forward to this as one of those upgrades they were used to and really enjoyed having on their cars. So now we finally have an option for the B58. So this is actually made by Vargas, and they have a complete CNC valve cover. It's all one-piece billet, and it's looking pretty nice. You can see it comes in a couple different color options. They have the red, black, and silver or clear posted on their product page, and it's also offered in blue for the same price, or you can get gold for an upcharge. And then they also do offer custom colors. So if you have a particular color, you want it to match your car or something else, then you can get a custom color done. Now, a lot of people have asked me, why do we actually need this? And there are a couple different reasons why, but the primary purpose why people buy these is for the looks. And you can see it just makes it look a lot more clean and simple. It deletes a lot of the extra accessories that we don't really want, or at least don't want to see on top of our engine. And it just helps it look like, a cleaner space. The valve cover also does get rid of the PCV, so kind of like the delete kit I talked about last week, it does remove all the extra diaphragms and accessories and things related to the PCV function. So you kind of get a simpler setup, a cleaner looking setup, and it does delete a potential failure mode for your car. You also do have a couple different options for fittings that you can route to catch cans and breathers and just kind of use at your discretion. So you can basically set that up for whatever you need, any custom setups that you want to do, especially for the higher horsepower cars. This will allow you to have the accommodations for that. And they do have a couple different options from them. That comes with one of their breathers if you wanted to, or you can route it to one of their catch cans if you wanted to. So all of those options are in the drop downs on their website, and it does add a little bit of cost to it, but again, depending on your setup, that might be exactly what you need. And then we do have a couple pictures of it. So on their website and all of their announcements, they post a picture of the black one that they have on their shop car. Of course, that's probably the one I would go with, and it does look pretty clean and simple, a nice smooth finish, so nothing really to complain about there. Then we did also see a red one out in the wild, and this one I believe is from one of the technicians over at Puma Speed. And Puma Speed is their primary vendor over in Europe, so I'm guessing they get a lot of parts like this early so that they can support testing and things like that. So he put a red one on their car, so for anybody that was looking for a picture of how the red one looks, this is what you get. So it still looks nice, definitely a little louder, and especially if you're going to get gold or something like that, you can really make a statement with one of these parts. And also, if you think in the future for like a whole cohesive package, if you already have an intake manifold or if you're planning on upgrading your intercooler in the future, then you can actually get both of those to match and have the same color. So that'll give you a really unique look in your engine bay, and especially for you guys that go to car shows and things like that, it'll give you something nice to set your car apart. Another thing that this could potentially help with is valve cover gasket leaks in the future. So typically on BMWs, we see a lot of leaks at the gaskets because you have, a metal component and a plastic component mated together, and they expand and contract at different rates. So now that you'll have an aluminum valve cover, that should help reduce that flex and the differences that you see between those two mating surfaces. That will hopefully reduce the chance of valve cover gasket leaks in the future. And this one, I'm actually not sure if it reuses the OEM gasket. Sometimes these just simply go on with the sealant. So we'll kind of have to see as people start installing them and running them for higher mileage, how well they hold up. Now the part is very expensive. It's a lot more expensive than the PCV delete kit that I talked about last week. So your budget will kind of have to dictate which option you want to go with. It's also a lot more difficult to install, but it's kind of where your priorities are. So definitely check them out. The link for the kit is in the description if you're interested, and it'll have even more information if you want to read up on that. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is yet another intake manifold that's hitting the market. And at this point, we don't really have a lot of information about it. We do just have a picture, but it is a good sign. So this one is coming from BMS, And the picture that they posted is a black one. You can see it has fittings for port injection and things like that. So pretty much what we typically see from intake manifold manufacturers. I do anticipate that this will be at a lower cost just because BMS tends to bring things a little bit lower in the market as far as pricing is concerned, but we'll have to see once it comes out. They said that they've actually been working on this since November, so that's a good sign that they're putting a lot of R&D and testing into it. They also said that they're going to be testing it this weekend at the No Fly Zone event over in Arizona. So hopefully that means that we'll get some good IAT data and get a good feel for how well this will reduce temperatures in our cars. And this part will also, of course, reduce or eliminate the chance of, a plastic manifold cracking when you're running higher boost levels. So I'm definitely feeling hopeful for this. I think this will be the one that really comes in at a lower price point and drops the market price for these kinds of parts. But, we'll have to see when it comes out, hopefully before the end of the year, or maybe something that they'll announce around Black Friday so that people can get a good deal on it. So yeah, not a lot of information yet, but just something that I wanted to give you guys, an update so you can keep an eye out for it. They just really gave us a teaser at this point, but if you follow their social media, then you'll be one of the first people to know when it actually comes out. So yeah, that's all we have for this week. Thanks again, everybody, for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed these videos. If there's anything else that you want me to talk about, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.